So today we're gonna talk about sadness. Today we're gonna talk about grief, sadness, crying, and stuff like that in terms of Stoicism. And I found, especially in the recent times, that Stoicism is talking about quite a lot of things that are of interest to me at this point in time. And yeah, I mean, it is good practice. You know, there's a lot of good things that they're talking about, and I think they are often quite right. Not necessarily always. There's actually one point that I do not like about Stoicism, but I just have to, research. Maybe I'm gonna talk about it someday, but not now. Definitely not now. But yeah, so it is again an article by the Daily Stoic, and therefore probably by Ryan Holiday, who is an author, and yeah, he has some pretty good books, not gonna lie. Also some books that I just did really not enjoy. There's one book in particular that I still remember that I've gone through an summary of it, and I actually didn't want to finish the summary because I just really wanted to not share that. And but the good thing about it is that the book was about some things that you should actually not be doing, but I still just didn't want to share these things because of whatever reason. I actually don't know. But yeah, anyway, we're going to talk about that, and we're going to go through that, and I really dearly hope that it is something that is going to help you and help you to get through tough times. And something to remember is that it is going to pass. And it is something that I myself also have to remind myself on quite often, but it is just the case, even though it is a very cliche thing to say, and it's not very helpful. I admit that. It is really not helpful to say, well, it's going to be fine. It just takes 2 years. No, it is going to pass. And after it has passed, and after you have just really ticked that box, and after everything is fine again, you're going to look back to this storm, and you're going to be a different person. And this is also something to think about. You're not going to be the same person after what you've gone through. You're just not going to be. You're going to have a different perspective on some things, and maybe you're going to have different opinions. Maybe you're just going to be a happier person because you have experienced this one thing, and you know that, okay, if this happens once again, I know how to respond to this. So there is a lot of ways how to think about things that are not good, that are in your life, and that are just not just working as you wanted to work, and that are not ideally. But remember that everything is going to pass, and everything is going to be fine, and in the end you're going to be hopefully a better person. So it is easy to be sad. In his new book, Comedy Sex God, as well as on his wonderful podcast and on his HBO show, the comedian Peter Holmes talks about the aftermath of the dissolution of his marriage. After his wife cheated on him and their subsequent divorce, he was hit with a long developing crisis of faith in the religion he had grown up with. He describes this period as many nights on the road, lots of work, lots of drinking, lots of crying, lots of counting crows songs on repeat. And while that all seems very tough, the interesting part about it, he says, looking back, is how easy it was, how comfortably he slipped into this depression, came to feel at home in it. He almost looks back at the period fondly now, as if remembering a long morning under the warm covers. And yes, indeed, I also have to say, it is so easy to just really slip into this bullshit. It really is. Being sad is easy. This is something the Stoics were quite aware of as well, and why they urged us to be wary of our passions. It is not that they felt that emotions were bad, it's that they knew how easy it was to slip into them and be consumed by them. When we lose someone we love, grief is natural. It can also be tempting to simply take residence inside that grief as a way of protecting ourselves from ever getting hurt again. I can't read. When we run into difficulty, it is natural to be sad about it, and we can quite easily adopt this sadness as our new worldview. And when the braver things is actually to make ourselves vulnerable again in the pursuit of something to be hopeful and happy about. One of the key virtues of Stoicism is moderation. Not too little and not too much, just the right amount. It is easy to overindulge our emotions, or your emotions, as Peter Holmes did for so long on the road as a comic. It is easy to block them off entirely, as Stoicism has been wrongly criticized for advocating for centuries. Yeah, they don't say you should just not have any emotions, you should not deal with them or deal and do something with them or whatever. it is just don't get consumed by them. Just keep it in moderation. Try to see reality as it is. And I mean, once again, it is easily said and not just easily done. But seeing what the world really is like and seeing how things really are when times are tough and when things are going on is not easy. And it takes practice and it takes time. And it just also takes quite a lot of effort to do so. And something that I've also learned today about Stoicism is amor fati, or amor fati, however you actually want to pronounce it, which means love faith, quite, and not just love it as it is. Do not even accept it, but love it, appreciate it. Whatever has happened to you, to another person that makes you feel bad, that makes you feel a certain way, love it. And if you think about things in that way, you are probably going to be able to see more positive sides of this particular thing that's happening than being like, wow, everything is so bad, everything is fucked up, I wish whatever. This is the first one. The second one is memento mori, which is probably something that you know, which means that I am gonna die. And it is a very powerful one in this way, and I'm gonna tell you. If you're sitting here and if you're crying and if you're feeling like everything is bad and everything is always gonna stay that bad and everything is fucked up, even though it is, you're gonna die. Do you, and this is the point, do you really want to live your last day on earth in that way? Do you want to be crushed? Do you want to be sad? Do you want to be unmotivated to do whatever? Do you want to be that person? And I don't necessarily think that you want to be the person. I don't necessarily think that you want to be the person that is grieving, that is so sad that he's or she is not able to do anything. You're gonna die. Might be today, might be tomorrow. And of course, sometimes we wish to die. Quite. If it is just from our heart or whether it is just something that we say just because it is something that we say, you don't quite. Life can be just one of the best things there is. If you're having a love in your life, if you're having just people around you that you absolutely appreciate, then life is fucking amazing. And of course, life can sometimes be bad and life can sometimes be just a tough thing. And I know that because I'm going through pretty tough times at this point in time, I'm not gonna lie. But it can be fucking amazing. And it always depends on how you think about things. It always depends on what you're focusing on. It always depends on things. And something that I also appreciate, and I think I haven't read the whole one, haven't I? Well, I'm actually going to read it and then I'm going to talk about whatever I wanted to talk about. The truth is, neither absence nor abundance is the right path, because neither is a path toward anything at all. And what is life but a path whose twists and turns are ours to crave or carve with our own 2 feet? And yes, whatever life brings to you, whatever life is doing to you, it is probably something that you have done to yourself in some or the other way. And Stoicism is such a great thing. They're talking about so many good things, so many practical things that we can be using. Of course, it is still not easy. I don't want to say that it is easy to incorporate all those things and all those thoughts, just because it most often has to do with how you think about things, and it is not easy to change how you think about things. For example, one other thing is that there is some things that we can control and there is some things we can't control, and focusing on these things you can't control does not make too much sense. Of course, it is something that we all can understand, but still, do it. Just do it. The worst advice you can give to somebody, like, it is fucked up. It is not easy, but still, I do want to point out, whatever you're grieving about, whatever loss it might be, or whatever other thing it might be, there is some things that you're probably responsible for, whether it is your own health, whether it is something else, and there are some things that you can do, there are some things that you can achieve, and there are some things that you can work on, and there are some things that you should be working on. So please do not get consumed by all of that grief. Please try to see the good sides of whatever thing has happened. When you have lost a certain thing, I don't want to talk about people, so I talk about things. It is your opportunity to experience life without this thing, seeing what it is like, And maybe, just maybe, you're going to see that you don't even need this thing. And on the other hand, it is also a new opportunity to get a new thing, a new and maybe even better thing. Maybe even a new and a little bit worse thing. I don't know. Just a thing that is satisfying your need of having a thing. Also, if you have broken up with somebody or just divorced or some other shit, then it is your opportunity to work on yourself. You really have a lot of time right now. You also have the opportunity to meet new people. You have the opportunity to just really take care of all the other relationships that you're having with friends and with your family and with whomever that you might have neglected to work on for quite some time. But you also have the opportunity to think about life in different ways, and you also have the opportunity to see new things and have a new perspective of okay, like there is pain, it can hurt. There is some things that are fucked up and shitty. I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of fucked up shit. But focus on yourself besides your friends and dear fellows, but don't focus on the other person. Doesn't make too much sense. Does really not make too much sense. And I'm speaking out of experience. Like, no. Why? What is the benefit of that? Why should you be doing this? And do not compare yourself, because okay, fine, you're doing it like this, and the other person is doing it like that, or the other family, or the other thing, or the other dog, or the other whatever it might be, whatever you've lost. This person is living their life and you're living your life. You're doing things like you want to do them, and this other thing is doing it like this thing is willing to do it. Ultimately, you don't have anything, you don't have anything in common in the sense of, okay, there is no reason for you to be upset about things. There's no reason for you to think, like, of course there is competition in life, I'm not gonna lie, we're comparing ourselves to other people constantly, but comparing yourself to a very specific person, to a very specific thing, just is ultimately not doing any good to you. Nothing. It's not great. Which, by the way, is also a Stoic thing, that yes, there is a lot of ways you can make things better, but on the other hand, there is just a ton of things how you can make things worse. And yeah, this is one of the things. Just constantly comparing yourself and seeing, wow, okay, this person is doing that, so maybe I should also be doing that, which is not a wrong thing, by the way, because maybe it is indeed the thing that you should also be doing. But I don't know. Not necessarily. Really not necessarily. You are you. You should do you. And it is fine in a way. It is really fine in that way to care about you and care about what you do, which does not mean that you should not care about other people. This is a very big topic for me and a very important thing for me. Care about other people. Be a nice person. Be, even though on one hand, I gotta have to say, there is some people that are naturally just, they already look just so nice and whatever. Should you constantly be smiling? No. I don't really think that this is necessary, but when somebody is interacting with you and you're interacting with somebody, try to be as generous and as nice and as kind as it possibly can be. It is ultimately going to make your life better, and it's ultimately going to make everyone's life better, which, by the way, is again a Stoic thing. Do things that are good for society, that are good for other people. So what might it be? For me, it might be working on my anger, because I've been not doing cool things in a rage, and it is something that I want to work on. It is something that I want to just get rid of and solve and deal with, because it is something that might be hindering me from just doing great things in the future as well, and I don't want to have that, for example. And again, coming back to, okay, now we all are having time, just in general, but certain situations just give us quite a lot of time to think and act and do things. And well, I do have to say, like, I might be wasting quite a lot of time at this point, which is something that I don't necessarily like. I am working on quite some things, which is cool. I appreciate that. But yeah, I try to do better. I try to be better. And another thing, I'm gonna make a sign for myself. So maybe you can use it as an inspiration. And I'm gonna write down amor fati, love, faith, whatever happens, love it. Which I, by the way, think is an amazing thing because, okay, maybe tomorrow, what could happen to me tomorrow? Maybe tomorrow, I get a really good opportunity for doing something. Well, great, I love it. Maybe tomorrow, I'm gonna lose just $10, which is quite a lot of money for me, just because this is who I am, and I can be pissed. But I could also think about and try to figure out ways how this can teach me something. And by the way, this is something that I have to because of circumstances and because of things that are happening around me all the fucking time at this point in time. I have to wonder what all of these things are trying to show me. I have to wonder, what is this showing me? What is this trying to show me? What is this trying to give me? What should I see there? What should I learn there? Because I feel like there's so many strange things happening at this point in time that I don't know what's going on. Like really strange things. Of course, I can make them strange by myself. I can think about things and overly think about things and just make them strange by thinking about them. But there's a lot of coincidences, and it is just funny. I do want to point out, it is just funny. For example, I think it's been yesterday or the day before. I think today is Thursday already once again. But the future is going to hold interesting things for me. As I said, I'm going to work someday. I said I'm going to work in August, and therefore I've also gotten a letter. I'm not going to show it to you because of reasons. We in Austria have to do some social job, some social thing, at least the man. You could either go to the military or for 6 months, or go for something social for 9 months. And actually, just thinking about it, it is something that benefits society. Being in the military is, at least at this point in time, not necessarily benefiting society. So, and I also hope that it is never ever going to be the case, because I don't want to have war here. The thing is, I've got some login data for something, to just so that they can collect my data and stuff like that. And so I got a username, and so my name is Walch Christopher, and my favorite number is 9. I had it once, or back in the days, I've been playing quite a lot of soccer and also just in a club, and I've always wanted to have the number 9 because of some anime, and it's long story short, I just wanted to have it. The thing is, I get the fucking letter with my username, and my username is Walch C9. And I thought, how high is the fucking chance? What is this going to show me? Another thing is, I'm getting a lot of opportunities to work on some things at this point in time from people. I have 3 projects on my mind. 3. It's insane. It's not necessarily about the money. This is one thing that I just see now, that, okay, well, and also in the next month where I have to work the social thing, I'm also going to get paid. I am not going to be concerned about my money. I'm not going to be like, whoa, I just really want to be rich. At this point in time, I just think about my happiness, and that's it. I have those opportunities. I appreciate them, and I just really also like making money. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, it's not making me happier. Having more money is not going to make me happier. Something that I see right now. I could buy myself some things that I want to have. I could buy myself a new phone right fucking now. It is something that might be bothering me. It is old. I also think about buying myself a watch, because I would like to have a new watch, a nicer one, another color, and other reasons. And yeah, I don't know. There is a lot of strange things happening, and I'm just trying to figure out what all of them are going to trying to show me. It is strange. Long story short, I hope I've been able to just share some Stoic things. Yeah, well. And I've also seen like the podcast is also growing, and the YouTube channel is also growing, which is something that also makes me really happy. And it is as if the universe or something is saying like, wow, man, like I've seen you just feeling not good. I can give this to you. I can give that to you. Just see this, see that. But I don't know. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna hold my eyes open. I'm gonna just hold my ears open. I'm gonna try to see and recognize things, and I'm gonna talk about them if I see things. But yeah, anyway, I wish you the best health, of happiness, and all success, and also hope that you're gonna remind yourself and you're gonna be remembered, which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person, and then also being remembered as a nice person, which is a pretty fucking cool thing. 3 other questions that I have for you are: why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are hopefully going to show you your purpose, and maybe even a business idea, which is a pretty cool thing. Anyway, any fucking way. Another question that I'm having for you is: what could you say in particular? Say, we can do a lot of things, we can make a lot of things, but what could you say that is really going to change somebody's life? Think about it, please. And yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate you. I dearly hope that I've been able. I've just seen that there's a typo. I'm sorry. I just never see these things. You know, I never see typos. I just don't recognize it. But it's the biggest font size on the whole entire letter. Well, anyway, I'm gonna see you the next time. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Bye bye.